Oh, that's nice. You gotta shuck them. But that is nice. Hits hard too. Love it. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Twang and Bang. When I was growing up, we could still play cowboys in school. We could even shoot each other with rifles made out of sticks. I even had a favorite stick that I would hide at the end of recess behind a little short wall next to the fence, so it would be there for me to play with every day. That stick was my lever rifle, and I would work that lever like mad, taking out bad guys with my friends. Well, now I'm 47 years old. I don't need to use a stick to play cowboys when I've got rifles like these. But this one in particular has me super excited to play cowboy. It's the Henry original. It's based on the first popular lever rifle, the 1860 Henry. And though my daughter and I have reviewed quite a few Henry rifles on this channel, I don't think they'd take offense in me saying none of them are quite like this one. It is their flagship. It gave them their name, and it's what's coming up next on Twang and Bang. The 1860 Henry popularized the idea of a lever-actuated repeating rifle shooting metallic cartridges. With its long underbarrel magazine, it was the rifle that you could load on Sunday and shoot all week long. Over 150 years later, Henry Repeating Arms created the Henry Original, a rifle virtually identical to the 1860 aside from concessions needed to shoot modern centerfire cartridges. Originally offered in .44-40, the Henry Original is now available in a much more common .45 Colt. Just like the 1860 Henry, the original is 100% made in the US. Its specially formulated brass receiver is hardened to the same tensile strength as steel. Henry dedicates its highest grade American walnut to the stock with grain that makes every rifle unique. It's capped with a brass butt plate that includes a trapdoor for storing a jointed cleaning rod. The front-loading underbarrel magazine is hand-fitted to the heavy octagonal barrel, making it one of the most time-consuming steps in making the rifle. The blade front sight pairs with a folding ladder rear, giving you a standard notch for close shots or an adjustable slider calibrated all the way out to 800 yards. That's well beyond my ability to shoot iron sights, but it's cool to know the historically authentic option is there. What many reviewers leave out is that each Henry original is built by just one gunsmith. Though there are other 1860 replicas on the market, that fact is why none match the original for its craftsmanship and attention to detail. Man, that is just point shooting. Woo! That is super easy. I'm not even using the sights. Both eyes open and just point shooting. I mean, I'm really close, but that makes it super fun. And I didn't have any problems getting my hand out of the way. You know, you feel the tab and you move your hand and move on. No worries. It's cowboy mag dumping. Oh, one more left. Miscounted, and that is a hot barrel. There's a lot of steel in there, but that's a lot of rounds to put through in a short period of time, and it knows it. This Freedom Munitions Leadville is super nice because it's loaded to sporting levels. So with this heavy rifle and these loads, there's no recoil. And it's hard enough to knock down steel, but it's not going to be as hard on steel as full power loads. Nice thing about shooting a pistol caliber is you can shoot pistol steel. Let's have some fun. That's it. I almost short shucked the first one. Got a little sticky. I've been shooting so much, this thing needs some lube, that's for sure. The Henry original is an authentic reproduction of the 1860 Henry, down to its warts and all. One of them is the magazine. It's a beautiful underbarrel magazine that's actually made out of a wrap around the barrel. So if the magazine were damaged, it was damaged that was encompassing a part that wraps all the way around the barrel, much harder to repair. Obviously underneath, you have this giant scoop for mud. You can imagine coming up to a muddy berm and putting the rifle on top. It's just gonna scoop dirt all into the magazine. Doesn't matter where this tab is. The tab itself could catch on things, including your hand as you're shooting it. And of course, it's a front-loading magazine, which is performed open to action. You have to kind of give it a good pop and twist it. And you can imagine in combat, having to do that and load, there's no tactical reload. That's why the improved Henry ended up with a loading gate on the side, but the 1860 Henry didn't have it, so this doesn't have it. The toggle action is top eject, which means that you're gonna get shells popping up into your face as you shoot. Oop. And you do need to give it a good shuck every now and then. This is pretty dirty. If you don't give it a good shuck, you're gonna have a little trouble with extraction. We don't have tumbleweeds blowing across this range. We got paper targets. I can't believe I got that on video. That's hilarious. That toggle action is really nice, but it caused a big problem for this design. You have this top ejection port. Sure, it sends shells up into your field of view, but you can get used to that. But it's this giant opening into the action for dirt, mud, snow, ice to get down in there in a battlefield. And when you cycle the action, you're grabbing it with the lifter, pulling it down into the action, into the magazine, and you could even with the bolt, shove it into the barrel. That was a big problem. That's why subsequent designs of the lever guns moved the ejection port to the side, made it smaller, and designed the bolt in a way that blocked it so that you didn't get debris inside of the action as easily. So it's a natural question to ask. Why would you buy a rifle with these flaws? It's got the top ejection port. It's got a magazine that's difficult to repair. It's got this big gap that you go and you put this on a berm or something, it's just gonna scoop mud right into there. You've got this tab coming down that you've got to move your hand out of the way, and it's hot to hold when you're really working the action. Oh, and plus it's front loading. Well, if you have to ask, this is not made for you. It's definitely one of those products. Every now and then I get my hands on one that's like that. If you have to ask, why would you buy a reproduction of an 1860 Henry, warts and all, then you're not in the market for one. But people who are looking for a historically accurate gun, one that helps put you back into those days that I know we romanticize it and we Hollywoodize it, and that's okay. I'm on this gun range to have fun. I don't come here just because I need to train to defend my family. That happens too, but most of the time I'm here to have fun. And shooting an authentic cowboy lever gun really adds to that. Henry keeps adding to my collection. This isn't even half of them, by the way. Every single one of the Henry rifles that I have is a fine example of American manufacturing, but the Henry original is in a category of its own. One shared with high-end 1911s, custom precision bolt rifles, hand-built side-by-side shotguns. This is the base model, and its MSRP is $2,300. They have other variants ranging in price all the way up to $3,495. None of them are cheap, but every single one of them is built to be a shooter. And even though I have a bribery plan in action right now as we speak to convince my wife to let me hang this on the wall in our living room, this is going to be coming down off of that wall and going to the range with me. If you want to learn more about the Henry Original Rifles, be sure to click the link in the video description below. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can see the links right here. And be sure to click right here to subscribe so you can catch my next videos on bows, guns, and other cool stuff. I really appreciate you watching Twang and Bang, and I hope to see you next time.